Hi friends, this is Peony from the Yomogi House. Fall is my favorite season of the year. I just love the fall colors and all the root vegetables and pumpkins and carrots and squashes and a little bit of green to balance the yin and yang. You know, what grows below, we have to eat it and balance it with whatever grows on top of the soil. Today, I'm going to make, well, I already made some. I boiled some potatoes on my stove on the top, and you have to cover it, otherwise what happens when you boil water on top of a wood stove, it just kind of like evaporates. It's not like you're boiling it on your kitchen stove where it just kind of like cooks. It's a little different energetic things happening there. So I boiled some potatoes in here, and I boiled it with the skin. And you can keep the skin on it, or you can, keep the skin on, or you can take it off. I personally don't care for the skin, so when you do boil potatoes, boil it with the skin on it, because the skin does have some nutrition, especially if it's an organic potato. And this dish that actually goes really well with, that I'm going to make and show you, actually is the butternut squashes and kabocha squashes. Very delicious cooked the way that I'm going to cook. So make sure you take off the skin and or leave them on, and take off the eyes. You know, eyes are pretty. The potato eyes are pretty. Not pretty nice. They don't. Your stomach doesn't like them. Your body doesn't like them. And if you want to peel your potatoes before, make sure you take the eyes off. That, you know, these little peelers. There's like all different kinds of peelers, and I figured out what this one was for finally. It's like to take this little thing to take the eyes out. See? You can get your kids to do this. Very easy once they're boiled. But if you do this, you know, before it's boiled, it's a little, you have to dig in a little bit. So anyway, I have a bunch already peeled in here. See? And we're going to mash this up. And I got there's different kinds of potato mashers. I've had this for 20 years. I got it in Japan, and I just got this at a Mexican store in Las Vegas when I went to visit my daughter. It is like the best ever. And so you get when you oh, this is so hard. It's easier to mash them when they're hot. Once they start kind of cooling off, it might be a little hard. And you know, you don't have to get them super creamy. All you need to do is just get them kind of mashed up. Kind of like toddler food. I just like gooey food. I like gooey stuff. Some kids don't. And then if you make extra mashed potatoes, you can always add other vegetables to this and make a patty. And if you're an egg eater, if you consume eggs, you add egg to this and make a nice patty and fry it on your skillet. Okay, so you got the potatoes mashed. And then, I mean, you know, mashed potatoes, and they can get pretty boring with just salt and pepper and, you know, your basic gravy on it. And a lot of people don't want to have gravy because it's kind of sticks to you, you know. But somebody who doesn't have a weight issue might be okay with that. But so to this, I'm going to add, not gravy, but I'm going to add miso. And you guys all missed the miso packing class, the miso packing event. And I still have 5 gallons of miso if anybody wants any. But I got a big old container of miso here. I'm going to put it in my suribachi. And you don't have a suribachi, you don't have to. I have 4 potatoes in there. To that, I might, like that much is about a tablespoon. And you can always adjust it. You know, this is one way to have salt. You don't have to add salt because that's already salty, but if you're not going to use the miso, then add salt. And then to that, I'm going to add ghee. Miso and ghee. Miso and butter is actually really good, but the butter is really hard right now because it's cold in my house. As you can tell, I'm really bundled up. So the same amount of ghee, about a tablespoon. And if you don't want to use ghee, if you're a vegan, then you can use sesame oil. and we can try both and see what how it tastes. I have not tried it with the sesame oil, but I'm pretty sure it's really, really delicious. So just mix it up a little bit. And if it's too thick like this, if it's too pasty, then you can add some water to this, some hot water, which I don't have available here with me, so I'm going to just go ahead and add just a teeny tiny bit of sesame oil. And this is not the toasted sesame oil, this is the regular sesame oil. And oils are actually pretty good and healthy for the nervous system, especially if you have celiac disease. Our nervous systems are kind of shot, you know, so it helps to have oil. I'm going to add some extra B vitamins, B12. This is another thing that the celiacs have problems with, is absorbing B12. So we get kind of like, you know, tired, anemic. And just a little bit. And I always say just a little bit because you can always add, but you cannot take it out, right? So little by little, just add and see how it tastes. If it's, you know, if it tastes too vitamin-y, then add some more potatoes. That's why I didn't add the other potatoes, just in case it was a little too overpowering. So once again, you can add hot water or just a little bit of oil just to get it creamy. Okay, then I'm going to add this to the potato. And this, you know, if you don't want to mash this, you can even use this as a topping instead of grated cheese. So, mix this up really well. And let them merge and get to know each other. Okay. And while this is getting to know each other, we'll just put this on the side. And because we're talking about yin and yang, potatoes grow under the ground, which is yang, and we have to incorporate something that's above the ground, which is yin. And we still get parsley and cilantro. It's still growing in my garden, and I got a bunch of it. So I wrapped it up in this nice kitchen cloth, and this is how you can keep it. You can keep your parsley fresh, or your cilantro. I didn't have enough parsley, so I got cilantro. And you can put this in your blender. Not blender, food processor, and chop it up really, really fine and sprinkle that on. Or you can take the stems off if you don't like all of this fiber stuff. Take the stems off if you're not going to blend it. Because how many of us chew our foods, I don't know, 30-something times that we're supposed to? Hardly anybody. I think only my mother does that. And she watches you chew, and she tells you, you didn't chew your food well enough. So that's what mothers do, right? Okay, so I guess this is about enough. And we'll chop it up really, really fine. And you can roll it up like this. And then give it a nice fine chop. Mince it. Wonderful. Oh, the balance of miso and cilantro with the ghee. Ooh. And you know, you can even add some grated ginger juice. And my mind is just taking off with ideas. And so I'm going to put this in there. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to mix it all up really, really good. Now this is what you call Asian mashed potato. And like I said, you don't have to add the dairy, but miso and butter is just something, it's like when you fall in love for the first time, that that melted, that feeling of like your heart is melting is what miso and butter tastes like. And miso is an enzyme, so once you make this, just know that the miso is going to start eating up the enzymes. I mean, the enzyme in the miso is going to start like processing the potato and the cilantro. So you want to eat this as soon as possible, and don't let it sit around because it'll get all like watery. This is delicious. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and add some sesame seeds to this too. Grind it up. Bye.